Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Tech LR Broly, Super Saiyan Broly and his Extreme Z Awakening that has come to DBZ Dokkan with the worldwide celebration. Now, Nightmarish Impact Broly is a Resurrected Warriors lead of 150% and an Extreme Tech lead of 100%. He raises attack for 1 turn on his 12 key, and greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn, whilst causing mega colossal damage to the enemy and massively lowering defense on his 18 key. He has attack and defense of 200%, key plus 3, an additional attack and defense of 120% when performing a super attack, an additional attack and defense when performing an ultra attack of 120%, an additional 50% attack when the target is in attack down or defense down status, an additional key plus 3, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack when facing only one enemy, an additional key plus 5, and an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies, and he will transform guaranteed from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So that means if you get him in the 2nd turn, he will transform in his next appearance. It's only if you get him in the 1st turn that you will not have him transform immediately from his next appearance. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, Prepare for Battle, Super Saiyan, and Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power are his link sets. Now, in terms of his transformation, that's really where he gets pretty nuts. Obviously here he raises attack and defense for 1 turn on his 12 key, greatly raises attack and defense on his 18 key. He also, at this point in time, has key plus 4 and attack and defense of 220% with an additional attack and defense of 120% and launches an additional super attack. There's a high chance of becoming a super attack as well. He has an additional 6% crit chance for extreme class allies for 2 turns and gets an additional 166% attack and guards all attacks from performing an ultra super. He gets an additional attack of 100% when the target enemy is in attack down and defense down. He gets an additional 4 key and has a great chance of launching an additional super against 1 singular enemy. And he gets an additional 6 key and launches a guaranteed additional super when facing 2 or more enemies. Overall, I would say that the Broly is pretty good. He has his active skill, which gives him 24 key and attack of 48%. Broly is definitely a damage dealing unit. So Broly is not, he's defensively fine, especially after his super. Like he's really quite fine. But he is way more a offensively orientated unit. I think a lot of people, they want every unit now to be amazing defensively. Broly is not that way. It's not that he's bad at all. Broly's very much able to handle a lot of normal attacks. He can even handle some super attacks. At rainbow level, he'll be able to handle super attacks pretty well. It's really realistically basically only at 55% where you are going to see him struggle a little bit. Now again, it doesn't mean that he is terrible. It just means that he, has limitations on his defense, especially against AoE enemies, because Broly and the vast majority of his defense, including his guard, all kicks in when Broly is at 18 key in his super attack. And because all of it only kicks in upon firing the ultra super, then you can tend to run into some issues. One other thing I will state, at least that I've noticed, so with Broly, for me at least, the attack stats you see at 55% are good, really, really good. We're talking 43 million attack stat is very impressive, even if it's with active skill, etc. But the thing is, honestly, all things considered, there is a lot of setup going into Broly. It's not like he's not got a lot going on. We've got this perfect pairing partner, we've got a support. In some cases, we've got the 2-turn support. In some cases we've got like the 2-turn buff, the support buff and everything. So it's not that he isn't getting set up for these big attack stats. A lot of people will show like, wow, Broly's incinerating a boss. He is absolutely destroying them, but you need to have the right units. If you give Broly the right units, he can pretty much decimate any boss in the game, because of the fact that he gains so much attack off of his supers. So he gains so much power off of all of those super attacks, and because of how his on super attack multipliers work, he can be very, very, very dangerous. And that's fine. Like, generally speaking, that's pretty good. It's how on super attack characters work, and Broly's up there with some of the best of them. He's incredibly efficient, he's very useful, he does a lot of great work, and I think overall he's a great EZA. Fantastic pairing partner for the tech Broly, the other tech Broly, the new one, because of how well they work on a base fundamental level. Tech Broly covers up a lot for tech Super Saiyan Broly's kind of setup and requirements, and needing a tank and everything. And so those two factors together kind of make the team run really, really well, and tend to make everything work really, really well together, which I think for me overall is probably where you want to see this unit lie. Yes, setup is needed, but if you can get this guy in the right situation, he will, I don't think any boss in the game can survive what he can bring to the table. So it's very good, very cool. For me, obviously, I think it's a great EZA overall. I think he does a lot for the team. Obviously, having stats in him matters, but especially I think in terms of build, you want to go crit, because you're going to get these huge attack stats, and Broly has no crit baked into his system. So Broly has a ton of additionals. He's got like a ton of additionals baked in, but he has no crit. And so I would say you want to consider giving him crit, so that these big attack stats that he's doing can be effective. I think if you don't give the attack stats that bit of crit, then you end up with monster attack stats that just don't tend to do too much. But yeah, I think Broly's EZA was perfect. I think they did his EZA exactly as I would have wanted it to be. I think obviously some people may complain, may have issues, etc. with the EZA, but for me, I think personally everything ran pretty much as well as I wanted to. I just don't see any major issues with his EZA, and overall I was pretty happy with how everything came out. In terms of link sets, we're very fortunate because Broly has a great link set, very, very, very stable one that does a lot. So Super Saiyan, Prepare for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, you do need to make sure that you get prepared for battle. It's not something you can just ignore. You need to make sure you have as much ki as possible for Broly. If you don't have enough ki for him, then you're not going to have a good enough time, and you are going to run into some issues. So make sure that you have ki for him, and make sure that you are trying to load him with as much ki as possible. Fortunately, movie bosses, planetary destruction, all those kind of teams have a very large, nice amount of support right now, with very good support characters. So I think you can make things work. Yeah, I would have to say overall, to be honest with you, very happy with Broly, and very happy with his setup. And yeah, that's it for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, and yeah, let me know what you think about Broly, do you have him at Rainbow, etc. Bye.